Well, what do we have here?
We have the famous trapdoor.
The trapdoor behind the bar at Claudio's restaurant in Greenport takes you back a century to Prohibition, when some Long Islanders defied the nationwide ban on booze by sneaking large quantities of liquor in by boat when this place was on stilts.
They used to come under here and lift probably the cases in the dark of the night up through the trapdoor.
The trapdoor now leads to a closed-off crawl space, but in the 1920s and early 30s, Claudio's location above what used to be part of the pier made it a hot spot for rum runners and gangsters and the just plain thirsty.
This is a secret entrance that I guess the people who didn't want to be recognized have snuck through.
The stairs lead up to the bar that was then a speakeasy, one of Long Island's most legendary outposts of Prohibition defiance. Landing loads of liquor from foreign shores onto the beaches and bayfronts of Long Island during Prohibition quickly sparked the creation of a notorious naval network.
The lawyer, the cop, the school teacher, anybody could have a boat.
Fred Skopanich Jr. grew up hearing a lot of stories about Prohibition because his father started a shipyard, still in business today, that back then sold boats, both to law enforcement and rum runners who raced liquor in from ships parked just outside U.S. territorial waters off Long Island.
The rum runners' boats could go as much as 32, 33 miles an hour. The Coast Guard boats were designed and built to go 24 miles an hour.
Skopanich says the cat-and-mouse game of liquor landings would then lead to bribe-paved truck runs to New York City.
They had pretty much all of the towns paid off on the way in.
It was, he says, mostly hush-hush under the cover of dark activity until organized crime began to see dollar signs.
When crime got involved, it just got worse and worse, and some of the rum runners even quit because it got too tough.
Skopanich, who remembers school kids calling him the rum runner's kid, inaccurately, he adds, says Long Island made for a vast natural dock for liquor shipped in from Europe and the Caribbean.
I mean, here we are with 100 miles of beachfront, bayfront for the boats to come into, and plenty of room to anchor out there and just wait for somebody to come along and buy your liquor.
But by 1933, what President Hoover called the Noble Experiment ended after having in many ways juiced up the very activity it was supposed to stop. Steve Langford for Newsday.